Manly Hall on magnetic fields of the human body right here is really good for the next 5 minutes.
Is the basis of virtue, because this energy field depends for its reality, its serviceability, and its protecting power to mood, emotion, thought, and the attitudes of the person around which this magnetic field is gathered. In other words, the individual, if they are normal, if mentally, emotionally, and physically, they're keeping the rules.
A normal person would be so abnormal today.
Magnetic field forms a tremendous protection. It is normal, it is healthy, it is constantly able to handle infections and all kinds of difficulties. It will help to heal wounds. It will help to recover the use of functions and organs. And if we are deprived of some part of the body, it will try to compensate for it.
So keeping a healthy magnetic field is vital. It's your protection. And he's not even talking about the aura, just the magnetic field. And the magnetic field continues to pump and receive energy based on your morality, because your morality is what keeps you in alignment. So your values, your standards, your morals, and your morality is essential because it keeps your brain and heart in alignment.
As long as the individual takes proper care of his magnetic field, it will serve him. Now, this is a phase of morality that is generally overlooked. It is assumed that these magnetic fields are something you don't pay much attention to. They're there, maybe they'll help a little. But the truth of the matter is that practically the whole survival of the individual depends upon maintaining the integrity of this flow of energy into the magnetic field. This energy comes from the sun. It comes through a mysterious energy tube in the magnetic field. It enters the individual through the crown of the head. It disseminates through the entire body, and it's excreted back again through the lower centers of the body and is recleansed by the solar energy. This is a kind of a little private tank or capsule of life that we are all carrying about with us all the time. Now, the problem of morality in this is very definite. The moment we break rules, we damage that magnetic flow. We have got to keep the laws of nature, and these in turn are the laws of God, or the magnetic field fails. It can fail because of physical intemperances, which reduce its integrity and reduce its power. It can be wasted in riotous living, which is a common cause these days. It can be variously destroyed by moods, by attitudes, by fears, by complexes. It can be destroyed or damaged by alcohol, drugs, narcotics, all kinds of things. But if this field is damaged, it immediately reacts into health. It damages the individual's vitality. It makes him more easily subject to contagions and infections, and it definitely shortens the life expectancy. Now, if this is so, why do we want to consider it as a moral factor? In other words, what is morality? To the ancients, it was obedience to the words of God, or the laws of God.
Spirituality is essentially morality. 11:11. Spirituality is essentially morality at the basis of it. In fact, the whole idea of spirituality in this new age right now is a distraction. It's a distraction because it gets you all up in your head thinking about love and light, right? And yes, that's essential to open your mind and realize the things going on out here. But spirituality is nothing if it's not rooted in philosophy and morality, in virtue, and in understanding of yourself, and understanding of this cosmos and your operation in it. And it's grounded in morality because what is spirituality if it's not lived, if you're not living it? And your system for living is your philosophy. It's your own personal morality. It's your standards and values and what you live by. And you can't lie. You cannot lie to yourself. The moment we lie to ourselves, we break away from the central pull of equilibrium, right? And then we have to deal with karma because we're out of alignment with the universe. Cycles of karma, right? You got to breathe through the karma or play out the drama. Let's keep going.
In more modern times, with more intelligent people, it is obedience with the evident will of deity as manifested in creation. Virtue lies in whatever builds up the magnetic fields. Vice is that which tears them down. No human interception can interfere with this in any way. Therefore, if we are good, it's not because the book says we should be. It's not because it was thundered by the laws on Sinai. It is because we keep the rules of the integration of the human structure. That we use the magnetic fields correctly and protect our health and our happiness and our well-being in that way. Now we think of the magnetic field as surrounding the entire structure of the body, as Kilner shows in his work on the human atmosphere, and Babbitt also in his study of the atom. This, however, is only a phase of it. Each part of the body has a magnetic field. Each unit within the individual has its survival in a unit of energy. And this unit of energy is present in the smallest subdivision of imaginable space.
Fractals. It's all fractals. I'm going to pause it here and see if there's any more juice. Any more gems. Wow. You ready for this? What is virtue?
It is killed by something. The very disintegrating process is a symbol of life energy. Therefore, we are confronted with the natural problem of realizing that virtue is to keep the law of the energy field.
Virtue is to keep the law of your energy field.
Now, the law of the energy field, just by coincidence, is also the law of integrity. The energy field is what establishes right and wrong.
Virtue, living in alignment with the virtues, creates integrity. Integrity is everything.
The energy field tells us that to lose our disposition and temper is wrong. To use various negative, destructive attitudes is wrong. To compromise the principles of right living is wrong. To think badly, to feel unpleasantly, to be engaged in any action or concept which is contrary to the common good damages the magnetic field and therefore is wrong. Selfishness injures that field. Every vice we know, the breaking of any of the 10 Commandments and a number of other rules results in damage to that field. It has nothing to do with nation. It has nothing to do with the ordinary concepts of codes, because the final code itself is based upon the life principle in each part of the human constitution. So we have each little cell has its own moral responsibilities. The stomach has its own magnetic field. The stomach is not simply an organ. It is an organism. It is a living thing within the human body. The same is true of the heart, the brain, the glandular structure, all the organs, the intestines, all the motor system, the nervous system, the endocrine system. These are all entities. They are.
So how will all these entities living inside of you, these beings, how will these worlds within your world fare if there's not a virtuous sovereign? Sovereignty in virtue creates harmony. Harmony on the inside will harmonize with the outside. That's the great work.
Entities of magnetic unities. They are part of living organisms which are cooperating together for the common good. To abuse one is to damage all. To neglect one is to neglect all. Each of these organs has its own field in the body. And all these fields together constitute the grand magnetic field that surrounds the complete person. Now we go inside of this for a moment to see what we're dealing with. So we go back to Pythagoras, who was very timely in that. He tells us that in Egypt there was a temple in which therapy was the result of this contemplation of symmetrical geometric solids. In other words, the images of therapy.
Wow. That's awesome. That's so next level. That's so true. In meditation, symbols, symmetrical symbols, and geometry always comes to you when doing breath work and energy work and aligning your body. It's crazy. Wow. All right, we ended it there. This is Immortal Truth. The truth that was, that is, and that will be. Hit that like button. Peace.